come to have a significant effect, good or bad, on everything we touch. I'm Thane Maynard. Tune into the 90-Second Naturalist and find out how we're interacting with the natural world today.
Listen every weekday afternoon during the KSJE Evening News at 5:30. KSJE is supported by San Juan Regional Medical Center, here to meet your urgent and emergent medical needs, whether they are COVID-19 related or not. Medical emergencies happen when you least expect them, whether it's a stroke, heart attack, illness, or injury. San Juan Regional Medical Center's caregivers are here to provide care to you and your loved ones. Find out more online at sanjuanregional.com. Ten minutes past 8 o'clock, Wednesday, July 22nd. Good morning, everybody. I'm Scott Micklin. Thanks for tuning in to KSJE 90.9 FM over the air here in San Juan County. Over the air in Durango, Colorado, we're at 103.3 FM, and you can listen anywhere because we're streaming audio from our website at ksje.com. Welcome also to our viewers who are watching this visual radio program, streaming live to the KSJE Facebook page and YouTube channel. We're glad that you are with us, everybody. Coming up in the next few moments, we're going to be talking about food hubs in both Farmington and Shiprock with my guests who are standing by. That's coming up in the next few moments right here on KSJE, so stay tuned for that. Then later on this hour, we'll be checking in with communications professor Dr. Mike Haddabaugh. He'll be joining us from the Encouragement Lab this morning about 8:50 a.m., both on radio, online, and on our social media platforms. Mick Hess will come in next hour, Roving with the Arts. It's our weekday classical music program, and this morning Mick is playing selections from some of the greats of classical music, music from Maurice Ravel, and of course the great Beethoven. Coming up this morning, it's a special 90-minute version of Roving with the Arts today, beginning after the news at 9 a.m. on KSJE, and that takes us to 10:30, our local and regional author program on Wednesdays, right on Four Corners. Tracy Hales-Vass is speaking with author Eduardo Pagan about his book called Valley of the Guns. It's a story about the Pleasant Valley War, and you'll hear more about that when you tune in today at 10:30 on Right on Four Corners on KSJE, so don't forget to do that. Don't forget also to connect with us on other social media platforms in addition to Facebook and YouTube, like our Twitter accounts and our Instagram page as well. Our weather forecast, it's going to be cooler today and more chances for some rain showers and increasing clouds throughout the day. The high today only reaching 84 in Farmington, 63 overnight tonight. It'll be cloudy for the most part tomorrow with a high of 88 on Thursday, 66 for an overnight low. Mostly cloudy skies on Friday with a high of 79, 80 for a high on Saturday, 83 on Sunday, and mid-80s for Monday and Tuesday of next week. Chance of showers or thunderstorms in the forecast for the next several days, and overnight lows in the mid-60s to lower 60s in the forecast. Well, let me turn to my guests who are joining me this morning, talking about food hubs in San Juan County. And from Farmington, the manager of the Harvest Food Hub, Erin Havens, is here this morning. Good morning, and thank you for joining me.
Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You bet. Great to see you again through the miracle of Zoom, so thank you very much. And joining us from Shiprock for the Shiprock Food Hub, Trini King is here with us. And Trini, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning.
Thank you for being here, and appreciate you joining us as well, because I think it's exciting to be talking about a food hub in the Shiprock area, and so it's great to have you both with us. Erin, let me come back to you and talk a little bit about the Harvest Food Hub here in Farmington, because that has been is the oldest hub in San Juan County and is just now kind of getting up and running this week, as a matter of fact, correct?
Yes, so we've been working on this for over a year after San Juan College was awarded a grant with the EDA about a year and a half ago. And so this is our first week operating, where we opened on Monday for buyers to go online and order through the Food Hub. And then yesterday we had farmers dropping off produce here for the first time. And then today is our delivery day. So we're really excited that we're finally getting going with the Food Hub. And hopefully it'll be for many more years to come.
Right, exactly. And you made a good point about how the organization received some grant funding to make all this happen. And so, again, it seems to have come together fairly quickly. I think I remember just talking about the concept of a food hub not a little over a year ago, and then all of a sudden, boom, some money became available, and you were hired, and here we are. Seems pretty quick.
Yeah, it feels like to me it's been a while, but it has actually been pretty quick that since the idea came up and then the grant was awarded and now we're actually doing this and we have the facility and everything. So it has taken some time to build those relationships with the growers in our area and with the school districts and the senior centers and all the different buyers in the community. But in the scheme of things, yeah, I mean, it really did come around quickly. We had a lot of people working on local food, Bonnie Hawkins and Judy Castleberry, and just to get this grant and then get it going in a couple years is really amazing. And we're very excited about all these new local food related developments in San Juan County.
Right. And so now for folks who aren't paying as close attention as some of us are, remind us the whole concept of a food hub. And of course, it's also up and getting ready to go in Shiprock as well. But the whole idea is to kind of connect local growers to these maybe bigger customers to kind of have a better ecosystem, if you will, of locally produced food in some of these larger institutions.
Yes, exactly. So food hubs came about, maybe 10 or 20 years ago. They started popping up across the country to really build some of the local infrastructure in regional food systems. Because, most of our food comes through this larger global distribution network, and food hubs build that capacity right here locally. So food hubs are basically aggregation and distribution facilities for local produce. And what's really great about food hubs as compared to other larger distribution centers is that we still keep the farmer's name and branding on all of the products that we sell through the food hub, and all the money goes directly back to the farmers. So it's just a really great system for both the farmer and also the consumer, because then on the consumer side, so a restaurant or a school, they would get a delivery from maybe 10 farmers all at the same time with a single invoice. So it's a really great way to source locally grown produce from multiple farmers without having to, having to call each of those farmers every week. Maybe one farmer has tomatoes, another one has squash, and you want to get all the products. So the Food Hub really coordinates that effort, helps the farmers out to make those new sales. Many of our farmers go to the farmers market, but the Food Hub is kind of opening these new markets for them. So,
right. And they're buying in larger quantities too, right? I mean, that's part of it. They can't just go to the farmer's market and wipe out 5 booths at a time, can they? I guess they can.
Exactly. Yeah. So, for example, the schools, they serve thousands of students, and so they need a lot of produce. So they wouldn't be able to just shop at the farmer's market for their school district, but they can shop at the Food Hub, and we have some farmers who post larger quantities of products so that they can feed their students or their senior center or their restaurant. And
right.
So, yeah, it really helps with the wholesale side of things. And we're also doing some direct sale to individual customers through multi-farm boxes. So that would be so that individual customers can also participate in the Food Hub. Because Food Hubs really did come about as part of a wholesale option for farmers. But in light of COVID and a lot of different challenges in our community, we know customers, individual families and customers want to be able to participate as well. So that's where we're also going to open with multi-farm boxes so that the Food Hub can purchase, large quantities from the farmers, but then we can distribute it in individual boxes to maybe employees that don't have, maybe a hospital or people who just don't have time to come to the farmers market on a weekly basis.
Sure. And I would think that some of these things are also maybe helping farmers to maybe plan their crops in the future. If they know they have maybe a large customer, that they can maybe increase some of their acreage for some of these things that they know they're going to be able to sell to maybe the school district or the hospital come harvest time. Yeah,
absolutely. And so that's another benefit of a Food Hub is we actually did a farmer and buyer networking session back in, I think, January or in the wintertime when farmers are still kind of figuring out what they want to grow for the season. And we're able to connect the farmers with the school districts and daycare centers and other larger buyers. And the the buyers can tell them what they are most likely to buy, and what they might want to see in the future in the summertime. So the farmers can then say, okay, now we should plant a lot more tomatoes because we know the schools are going to want a lot of tomatoes. Of course, this is our very first year, so I think that kind of information is going to be even better in the future years. Once we kind of see patterns and we can look at the information of who purchased and how much they purchased, then we can give that back to the farmers for future years. So that's only going to improve after we have some, examples to show the farmers.
Right.
But yeah, and it also really helps growers know, there is a market for their local produce, and the farmers markets are great, and they are able to sell a good amount. But there's a limit to what you can sell at the farmers market. If you want to get into wholesale, you can sell a lot more in a single order. So I think it will also grow farmers' confidence and capacity and ability to increase their production even more.
Right. Very good. Trini King, let me turn to you a little bit about the situation over in Shiprock. And of course, that food hub is getting up and running. It is partnering, I know, with the hub in Farmington, which is also kind of connected to San Juan College. But talk to us a little bit about where the Shiprock Food Hub is these days.
Hi, good morning, Scott. Thank you so much for having us on here. It's really great, spreading the word of produce. That's
Right.
what I'm talking about.
That's right.
So, the Shiprock Food Hub, it was just an idea. It was an idea that a lot of the vendors who attended the farmers market, even farmers who weren't attending the local farmers market, it was just like a word about type thing, like, oh, we need this. Oh, we need this. It would be really neat, if I didn't have to just work as hard as I have to, marketing my produce. So, Trini, how would this happen? How would this happen? Like where I farm and let's say I can't go to the farmer's market or down to the local flea market. Of course, as we know, the local flea market in Shiprock is not open due to the COVID-19 pandemic. But, just before this pandemic, farmers and growers were able to go there, do the roadside selling. But
Sure.
We talked about it in discussions. What can we do about it? I wish I could just drop off all my produce at the Shiprock Farmers Market and have you sell them. And I'm like, oh yeah, we could do that too. But that's a little bit that's breaking my ankle just a little.
That's a lot of work.
A lot of work on top of that, chasing after cars, telling them to slow down. Just it was just a conversation, and we thought about it. I talked to a few mentors within the community and said, there's got to be something that we could do where we could help market the produce. There's got to be something more than just roadside, the flea market, the farmers market. And thankfully, that's where I came across the Shiprock Area Food Access Coalition. I was asked to attend one of their community meetings, and that's where I met Erin Havens. And, Erin and I, we chit-chatted. She started telling me about the food hub, and I'm like, holy smokes, that's everything that we wanted to do for our community and our farmers and growers. But, we just weren't too sure how to go about it. So just talking to Erin, brainstorming, getting community members, talking to local farmers and, local growers in the area, just the community, coming together, chit-chatting about it. We were able to, just have a huge brainstorm. And that's where the birth of the Shiprock Area Food Access Coalition's Shiprock Food Hub came about. And the Shiprock Food Hub, everything takes like strategic planning. So, just based off of our ideas and brainstorming, we were able to, put a little bit of action into what we were planning as a group. So, in doing that, we were blessed to come across some wonderful people, such as Erin. So from there, we've been working together, like, how do we get it here in Shiprock? How do we get storage units here? How do we look for a place here? So a lot of these things, are a little bit different our food hub's just a little bit different. The process of having it actually up and going is a little bit challenging, a little bit different from, Erin. Erin, she was, thankfully she was blessed with the San Juan College, with San Juan College's help and support. And therefore, I received the blessing too through Erin.
Right.
So,
Sure.
Just in doing that, we were able to get local volunteers, local people, the Shiprock Area Access Coalition, Food Access Coalition come together, along with our local chapter government at the Shiprock chapter. We all came together and we started attacking these little hurdles that we're coming across.
Right. And what's been the reaction from your farmers, Trini, when you talk to them? Are they excited about having a larger maybe market to sell to and to grow for?
You know what? They love it. They love the idea. They love the concept. And actually, there was a few farmers who did not farm for the past 2 years. And, just during this pandemic, they're like, I'm farming for my family. And they're like, okay, you know what, Trini, I might have a little bit more produce than I normally do. So you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take the food training, and I'm going to go ahead and, I'm going to do what I need to do by providing more, money in my pocket and food for my family by signing up with the Shiprock Food Hub. And by doing that, I'll be able to feed those that are hungry in the community, not just the community, but I'll make more money by selling to restaurants and schools through the Shiprock Food Hub. So it just benefits everybody, and, no produce goes to waste. I think before I talked to one farmer who had a bunch of melons. I mean, he had a bunch of melons and he was just literally just giving them out, which is great. But he was like, you know what, Trini, I really wish there was some type of venue that I could, sell this to.
Sure.
And, it was just trying to find that. And, it's hard. It's hard. A lot of the farmers here don't have vehicles. They don't have the means of transportation, to get to these these local spots that are, hot, like selling hot produce. What I mean by hot produce is selling out corn,
right,
flea market, wherever.
Sounds like this is filling a gap. It sounds like this is filling a gap then in that kind of economic pattern, right?
Yeah, and I think number one, I think that food hubs definitely, they build community around food and farming. That's the number one thing. And, especially during these times, it's great that, we all get out there and play in the dirt and get stuff situated.
There you go. That's right.
Just within ourselves and our community.
I hear you, and I know that Bonnie Hopkins and Patience Williams will tell me and anyone that a locally grown food of any sort tastes better than anything you could probably buy. No offense, grocery stores, but something that's been frozen or chilled and shipped for 7 days across the country to get to us. So I think that that goes without saying. But thank you, Trini, for giving us an update on the Shiprock Food Hub. And so, Erin Havens, let me come back to you a little bit about what's going on with the Harvest Food Hub. You mentioned that this week was kind of the first week for sales, and so you've got a website, and folks can go on there and kind of see what's available. And again, it's mostly geared towards these larger customers, right? And so when we go on and take a look, we're looking at buying things in larger quantities. Is that kind of the idea?
Yeah, that's definitely the idea, although we have kind of a mix of both. So if you go on and look at the website, you'll see some growers are listing, boxes of produce in cases or larger quantities. And some farmers are listing, an individual onion or a bunch of kale. So it is open to both types of consumers, wholesale and individual customers. Like I was mentioning, we're trying to build the capacity and increase the amount of wholesale products available, but at the same time, there's demand within our community for better access to locally grown produce. So it is a combination of both. And as I was mentioning, this was our first week, and we did really great. We had some individual customers, we had a restaurant, we had Farmington Municipal Schools purchase, and we're hoping to grow even more. Next week, we're going to start with multi-farm boxes so that individual customers can go onto our website and purchase just one mixed box of produce, maybe $10 or $20 worth of local produce from multiple different farmers. And that's a really great opportunity. You'll get a box of produce that's a little different each week, so you can really eat with the season. Maybe you could try something new that you wouldn't normally get at the farmer's market in that box. And you can see all the different farmers that it came from. And so that's something that we're starting and we're really excited about as well, in addition to selling with the restaurants, school districts, senior centers, daycares, any other businesses or institutions that want to purchase from our local farmers and supporting our local community and local economy.
Right, and then you mentioned too that you are now, it was open for ordering, I guess, on Monday, and then yesterday you've been kind of getting everything ready to go, and then today, amid some of the noise we can hear behind you there, you're getting ready to deliver, right? Is that what's going on today?
Exactly, yeah. So it's a weekly ordering process, so every Monday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., the farmers are going to have all their products available, listed on our website. You can go online and you can really easily order. You can actually see which farmer is selling which product. Each farmer can have their own prices and their own photo of their products. So it's really easy for customers, either institutional or individual, to purchase online. So that's every Monday, and then every Tuesday then we tell the farmers, say Monday at 10 p.m. we tell the farmers what's been ordered from them so they can go harvest on Tuesday. So this is the freshest produce you're going to get. They're going to harvest after they know what you ordered. Come to the Food Hub, drop off the products here on Tuesday, and then we're going to organize them. So if we have products from 3 different farmers going to one restaurant, we'll put that in a bin or in an area of the refrigeration unit for today, which is our Wednesday delivery day. And so today I'll go out and deliver to the institutional buyers. We aren't delivering to the individual customers yet. That's going to be via pickup, but in the future, with the multi-farm boxes, if we get several customers from a single, maybe the hospital or another employer,
right,
we can go drop off those boxes for them.
Sure. And so again, you are joining us and talking to us this morning from the actual Food Hub, which is located in Farmington. And so I asked if you might be able to, for our video viewers, to maybe give us a little tour of what's going on at the hub this morning, and to kind of show us kind of how all this works. And I would assume something similar is what's in the works for the Shiprock Food Hub, correct? Down the road?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's take a look, if you don't mind taking us around here.
So hopefully this will go okay. But so we're in the San Juan College Harvest Food Hub. Here is kind of our packing area. We have these tables here. We have our certified scales here, and this is where we'll be able to organize the products and label things that need to be labeled. We have here our bins and our storage area for products. Really exciting. You can see behind me we have our trailer and our van, and the trailer is refrigerated. And let's see if I can just show you a sneak peek real quick of some of the products that I'll be delivering today. So you can see right in here, we have products either from several different growers throughout Northwest New Mexico.
Nice.
So yeah, we're loaded up right now. And then today I'll go out in our delivery van, which is also refrigerated, to go deliver that produce to our customers. And we are in the process of receiving 2 additional cold storage units for produce storage. We also have pallets of boxes in here so that farmers can pack their produce in a safe manner and clean single-use boxes and plastic bags to help out farmers who are new to selling with a wholesale buyer. And so you're used to selling at a farmer's market where you can lay everything out on the table. Now you got to package it in boxes and plastic bags for your larger customers. So we have some of those here to support our farmers. And then you may have seen our garage door here at the Quality Center for Business, so that when we do deliveries, people can come easily drop it off.
Right.
At the hub.
Right, and that's where you're located, is over at the QCB, the Quality Center for Business, up on the campus of San Juan College. And then that refrigerated trailer that you were showing us, I think, is going to pull double duty, right? Because that can also serve as your kind of mobile farmers market, and that's part of your plans as well, is it not, this year?
It is. So the mobile harvest is a really exciting program that's also been in the works for over a year in a collaboration between the city of Farmington, New Mexico State University Extension, Bonnie Hopkins, and San Juan College Food Hub. And so that is going to allow us to pull the produce to areas, maybe, the Bonnie Dallas Senior Center, and set up there for sales of produce like a farmer's market. And the great thing about that is we can go to places that, where people might not be able to easily get to the farmer's market, like maybe a senior center or a hospital, and our customers will be able to use SNAP, WIC checks, and some of the senior nutrition checks to purchase produce. So we're really excited about that. Unfortunately, because of COVID, our original plans were to do cooking demonstrations. We have a 3-compartment sink in the trailer, the hand washing station. And so that was the initial thought, is we could not only be selling like at a farmer's market, but also showing how to use some of these interesting local vegetables in their meals. But that might have to wait until after the pandemic is over so that we can safely do cooking demonstrations. But that is all part of the Mobile Harvest, an exciting local food collaboration that will definitely be getting off the ground this year.
Very good. Well, and you've got big plans, and I know pandemic notwithstanding, you've got great ideas for all the stuff that you are putting together there for the Harvest Food Hub. So that's wonderful. Trini King, let me turn back to you just briefly to kind of wrap up our conversation this morning. But again, all these things that Farmington is doing and helping with the Food Hub plans for Shiprock, it's got to be a great thing for the Shiprock community and the surrounding communities too, right? Because you can kind of branch out a little bit from a home base in the Shiprock area and reach out to other chapters as well, can't you? Is that your plan?
Right, and that's exactly what we're doing. And we plan to recruit as many farmers as possible in the Shiprock and the surrounding area. I know that there's a few farmers that do live on the Arizona border, and it's on Navajo Nation, and they are farmers, and we're not going to disqualify them just because they live on the border. Any of the border towns, anything like that. So we want to make sure and encourage all the farmers to, come on, join us, and profit. It's 100% profit goes straight to the farmers and the growers. The Food Hub does not take anything from the farmers. They name the price, and that's what they get. So just in saying that, we are preparing for the Shiprock farmers market this year, and because we are deemed an essential business for our community by the governor of New Mexico, we are very excited. So in the meantime, we're making sure we're taking all the COVID protocols, right? Social distancing, and I've been working a lot closely with Bonnie Hopkins with the Farmington Growers Market. So, just in, her setting the example of like, hey, Trini, you can do it. This is just a little speed bump, just in hoping that this pandemic clears up really quick, which I don't think it is. But,
no.
Just us practicing social distancing, keeping the mask on, we're going to make sure the market happens this year. So we're going to be starting off August 15th. That's a Saturday. We're going to be doing every Saturday and every Wednesday. Saturdays, it's going to be 9 o'clock in the morning until 7 o'clock in the evening. And then Wednesdays, we will do 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
But, the Saturdays, just because of this COVID issue, we are abiding to the Navajo Nation lockdown protocols as well. Right. So that Saturday, we're hoping that, we'll get the lockdown lifted up on weekends, but we're not too sure. So we'll go ahead and check in with our government here on the Navajo Nation and make sure that, we have some type of, we have some type of clearance,
sure.
Making sure that we can sell on weekends. But if not, if we have this lockdown, we're going to go to 2 days a week. So we're going to go to 2 days during the weekday. Okay. But the whole point is, the farmer's going to benefit 100%.
Right. Very good. And the location of the market in Shiprock is going to be where?
It's at the Shiprock Chapter House parking lot.
Right there at the park. Got it.
Yeah, right on Highway 64. You can't miss us. We're right off the road.
Very good.
You'll see signs, flags, and you'll smell the wonderful produce. Hey, there you go.
That's it.
You'll smell the wonderful produce.
Perfect. Well, Trini King, thank you for joining us this morning. I appreciate it very much. It's great to see some of this stuff going on in Shiprock, thanks to, I think, your efforts and a lot of other folks who are working with you. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you, and thank everybody out there, too.
You bet. You bet.
And especially the farmers and growers.
That's very true. You couldn't do it without them. Exactly. Excellent. And Erin Havens, thank you for joining us as well from the Farmington Harvest Food Hub. We appreciate it very much. And it looks like you've got a busy day ahead of you with all those deliveries you're going to be making.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm about to go head out and deliver some local produce. So maybe you'll see my van driving around town.
I bet we will. So very good. Well, thank you. And again, we'll keep chatting with you and see as things develop. So you've got a lot of great ideas, I know, for the food hub and the mobile market and all those other things we talked about. So thanks so much. Very good.
Thank you, Scott, for having us.
You're welcome. My guests talking about food hubs in both Farmington and Shiprock on the program this morning. Thanks for joining me, everybody. I'm Scott Micklin, back with more in just a moment, though. The time is 8:40 a.m. This program on KSJE is supported by Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation, providing a competent, innovative, and caring team of professionals to serve wealth management, trust administration, employee benefit plans, retirement planning, and estate settlement needs. Find out more about Citizens Trust and Investment Corporation at 505-599-0181.